This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Cracking down on sanctuary cities, the bill that's now threatening to throw county sheriffs behind bars if they don't cooperate with the feds.
U.S. leaders are saying our relationship with Russia is at an all-time low. I'm ABC's Maggie Rulli, and we'll have the latest developments coming up.
And getting even more tourists to come to Austin. The plan for the convention center that could bring in more visitors, and who will pay for it?
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak at 5 a.m. I'm Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. It is Thursday, April 13th, and Anavid Reyes is following our traffic. But let's get a check on our weather first with Erica Lopez.
Hey there, good morning, guys. Your morning forecast, it's rather quiet. What we are seeing is a lot of low-level moisture, still humidity higher than yesterday morning. Dew points are in the mid-60s compared to the low 60s yesterday morning. 67 currently at ABIA and Camp Mabry. So tracking your Thursday forecast, here's what we can expect. Lunchtime plans. Mostly cloudy skies, and we have about a 20% chance of an isolated shower. The chances today will stay isolated. I think the hill country has the best chance of seeing some scattered showers today. I know in a very important forecast for this weekend is in store also Easter. This is what I'm tracking for your Easter Sunday plans. 20% chance of an isolated shower, so plan for that this weekend. And Aviv is keeping an eye on the roads this morning. How are they looking?
Everything's looking pretty good, Erica. Take a look here. This is a live tech stop view at Monterey Oaks Boulevard and 290, and this is I-30 at East Riverside. So everything's looking pretty great. That's the same story for the Austin metro area. There is a closure that we want to let you know about. This is between 183 and Ross Road. Eastbound and westbound lanes will be closed Thursday and Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's it for traffic. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thanks. Happening today, city leaders hope to curb the K2 epidemic with a new resolution. K2 is also known as spice and is made up of dangerous chemicals.
KVUE's Corey Coffin joins us now live from City Hall this morning. And Corey, many calling this a crisis.
Brian, Yvonne, good morning to you. During the past 5 years alone, Austin Travis County EMS has responded to 6,000 K2-related cases. Just in the last week, they say dozens of people overdosed and ended up in hospitals. Now, K2 isn't just a downtown Austin problem. It's also a problem that's starting to spill out into neighborhoods. According to Austin Travis County EMS and other emergency officials, that's keeping officers very busy, preventing them from solving crimes. Now, part of the reason that this has become an epidemic is because the chemical makeup can constantly change, making it difficult to outlaw. But police have been cracking down on sellers and distributors when they find them. Just yesterday, APD and the DEA seized 87 bags of the drug. That's about 2,600 doses. They also arrested 2 people.
They can develop heroin-type withdrawal.
We're going to be finding these dealers wherever they choose to hide. Wherever hole they are at, we are going to find them.
Now, that person you heard from is a K2 user. We spoke to some who are addicted, and they explain how dangerous the drug can be because of the chemical makeup, because it changes users and never know what they're going to get and what they're going to have a reaction to. So today, council will consider a resolution that will actually do 2 things. It will provide more money for police for them to actually fight the drug and fight outbreaks of the drug and find these dealers and distributors. And it will also provide an awareness campaign for people, anybody who might be prone to using this, or just the general public, to know what to look out for. So that's what City Council is hoping to do today. They start at 10 a.m. Live at City Hall, I'm Corey Coffin for KVUE News.
Corey, thanks. A man who has been charged with killing an Austin attorney is behind bars this morning in New Orleans. That's where police found 24-year-old Justin Twine. Officials say he stabbed James Short to death in his home back on Friday after Short had taken him shopping at a nearby Walmart. Security cameras inside the store show the 2 of them together. Investigators still trying to learn more about how they knew each other. Cell phone records show they did exchange text messages, and Short gave Twine his address. Twine will be soon extradited back here to Austin to face charges. The man who investigators say threw rocks at cars and drivers on I-35 dozens of times for nearly 2 years will be in court today. Pat Johnson facing multiple counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His trial scheduled for June of this year. Today appears to be a preliminary hearing. Austin police say Johnson's behind most of the 90 rock-throwing incidents that began back in 2014. Johnson is already serving time for an unrelated sex assault charge.
A bill to ban so-called sanctuary cities will head to the full House for a vote, but the version going to the House is slightly different than what's passed out of the Senate. Senate Bill 4 will require all law enforcement agencies to honor ICE detainers, those requests to hold a person in custody while their immigration status is investigated. The original bill allows officers to ask anyone about their immigration status if they are detained, which includes being pulled over for a traffic violation. The House version only allows officers to ask about status once someone is arrested. One representative says the bill does more harm than good.
I don't know that this bill is anything but kind of a political ploy. It doesn't help local law enforcement, doesn't make us any safer, and candidly, it forces us to release from our jails more violent offenders who may be homegrown and have to keep nonviolent, undocumented people in jail.
Police officers from across the state, including Austin's chief, have told lawmakers the bill will hurt their community policing efforts. No word yet on when the House will take a vote.
Tension between the United States and Russia continues to escalate even after Secretary of State Rex Tillerson met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow yesterday. As Maggie Ruley tells us, President Trump now saying relations with Russia may be at an all-time low.
Right now, we're not getting along with Russia at all.
The current state of U.S.-Russia relations is at a low point.
A grim view of U.S.-Russian relations from the president and America's top diplomat. Both men once called Russian President Vladimir Putin a friend, but now those hopes of a fresh start have come crashing down. The U.S. missile strike on Syria, triggering a crisis with Russia, a loyal ally of the Syrian government of Bashar al-Assad. The strike, a response to the Assad regime's use of chemical weapons on his own people. That chemical weapon stockpile came from an airbase where there were also Russians.
I would like to think that they didn't know, but certainly they could have. They were there, so we'll find out.
Questions of how much Russia knew coming as Secretary Tillerson holds a tense 2-hour closed-door meeting with Putin, saying afterwards the two share a desire for a unified and stable Syria. But he then angered Russia by bluntly calling for a regime change.
Our view is that the reign of the Assad family is coming to an end.
This tension only adding to a strained relationship after U.S. intelligence concluded Russia meddled in last year's presidential election, something Russia continues to deny.
The world's two foremost nuclear powers cannot have this kind of relationship.
U.S.-Russia relations were also tense at the UN after Russia voted to block a resolution that would have condemned the Assad regime's use of chemical weapons. This was Russia's 8th time voting against condemning Assad. Maggie Ruley, ABC News, Washington.
Austin City leaders think it's time for the convention center to get another update to ensure the city doesn't miss out on potentially big tourist draws. So here's a look at what it could look like years from now. A little over 447,000 square feet of exhibition space, plus more meeting and ballroom space. A member of a coalition that supports the expansion says the lack of space and availability is causing the city to lose money and future conventions.
The world is going to Las Vegas. That's a pretty big one to lose. And other ones are going to San Antonio, Dallas, Houston. You know, when we think about the convention world, we kind of think, conventions, yeah, well, boring, you know. But when these people go back home and go back to their places of business, they are talking about Austin.
If the expansion is approved, council members will vote on who will pay for it, the voters or the city. With either option, we're told there will not be any increases to local property taxes.
This next story stinks. A Taylor church filled with raw sewage, and no one's taking responsibility. The church flooded with raw sewage about 2 months ago after a city sewer pipe overflowed. That was back in February. City workers then made it worse when trying to fix the problem, accidentally pumping in more sewage. The problem now, neither the building's owner nor the city is taking responsibility.
We've lost everything due to the nature of the water. It wasn't just brown water, it was raw sewage. The claims adjuster has not come back with anything yet. I've talked to him weekly, and I don't know what the holdup is, but here we are in April. We haven't been able to have services at all, and still don't have an answer on the claim.
The church says they lost about $15,000 to $20,000 worth of equipment. A sewage cleanup service, tells KVUE, it cost between $30,000 and $70,000 to clean that building properly. Wow. Time now to get a check of our forecast. 5:09 with Erica Lopez. Hello, Erica.
Hello, good morning. As you're heading out the door this morning, we're already seeing some patchy fog developing, so that's going to be something you keep an eye out for. Also, can't rule out an isolated shower. The hill country this morning has the best chance of seeing about a 30% chance of some rain shower activity. So yellow light for your morning rush hour traffic in terms of patchy fog is something you could battle. Temperatures in the upper 70s and another mostly cloudy day is expected. So I think your evening commute, you should be in the clear. Daytime highs today, upper 80s, mostly cloudy. Again, anywhere from 10 to a 30% chance of some scattered showers. Overnight lows will be in the 60s tonight. Let's take a look at our KVUE photo of the morning coming out of Instagram. This is Vicky Holcomb. She shared this photo with us. She told us that she still remembers the excitement of finding Easter eggs while she was growing up. So one of her favorite things about being a parent is being able to relive her childhood. So I know there's going to be a lot of fun Easter egg hunting photos. You guys can share them with us, and we'd love to feature them on Daybreak. Guys, back to you.
What a cute little boy. Is he a redhead like you, Brian?
That's a handsome little redhead right there, wasn't it?
Oh, so cute.
I like that. Handsome young fellow. All right, remember the Alamo may take on a whole new meaning soon. There's a new plan to renovate and expand the historic piece of property in San Antonio. Officials considering closing off streets opposite of the site and moving the shops across the street to make room for a museum there. But the thing that has people talking is the city's plan to move a memorial out front that has the names of those who fought in the battle.
We've all lived with the cenotaph and we all love it. I hate to see it moved or destroyed.
They need to show respect to those grounds, just not the front of the church, but all the grounds around the Alamo.
Now, the Alamo Master Plan is a $200 to $300 million project. The city hopes they'll be finished sometime in the next 10 years.
It happened again. Another school worker accused of having an improper relationship with a student.
Well, we're learning about this local middle school counselor and how the district is trying to assure parents their kids are safe.
And a California officer is off the job this morning after this explosive video. We'll tell you what led up to this.